helicopters completely changed modern warfare. But the machines flying today are the result of more than 70 years of development. From fragile early prototypes to advanced combat aircraft, the evolution of American military helicopters tells a story of constant innovation. Sikorsky R4. The story begins in the early 1940s with the Sikorsky R4. It was the first helicopter in the world to enter mass production. Compared to modern helicopters, it was slow, fragile, and carried only a single passenger. But during World War II, it proved that vertical flight could be incredibly useful. R4 helicopters performed some of the first combat rescue missions in aviation history, retrieving wounded soldiers from areas where airplanes could not land. For the first time, helicopters showed that they could save lives on the battlefield. Sikorsky H-19, Chickasaw. After the war, helicopters quickly became more capable. One of the first major transport helicopters was the Sikorsky H-19 Chickasaw. Introduced in the early 1950s, it could carry troops, cargo, or medical stretchers. The helicopter saw extensive service during the Korean War, where it was used to evacuate wounded soldiers directly from the front lines. These missions demonstrated the enormous potential of helicopters for medical evacuation. Sikorsky H-34 Choctaw. By the mid-1950s, the United States military needed even more powerful helicopters. The Sikorsky H-34 Choctaw answered that need. It could carry larger groups of soldiers and heavier equipment than earlier helicopters. The aircraft served with both the United States Army and the Marine Corps. During the early stages of the Vietnam War, H-34 helicopters transported troops into combat zones and supported the growing concept of air mobility. Bell UH-1 Iroquois. Everything changed with the arrival of the Bell UH-1 Iroquois, better known as the Huey. First flown in 1956, the Huey introduced a powerful turbine engine that made helicopters faster and more reliable. During the Vietnam War, thousands of Hueys operated across the battlefield. They transported troops, evacuated wounded soldiers, and delivered supplies to remote jungle bases. The sound of the Huey's rotor blades became one of the most recognizable sounds of the entire war. More than 16,000 Hueys were eventually built. Bell AH-1 Cobra. The Vietnam War revealed a major weakness. Transport helicopters were vulnerable to enemy fire. The solution was a helicopter designed specifically for combat. The Bell AH-1 Cobra first flew in 1965 and became the world's first dedicated attack helicopter. With a narrow fuselage and powerful weapons, the Cobra could escort troop transports and destroy enemy positions. Its design became the blueprint for many future attack helicopters. Bell OH-6 Cayuse. Not every helicopter needed heavy weapons. Some were designed for speed and agility. The Bell OH-6 Cayuse became famous during the Vietnam War for its incredible maneuverability. Pilots used the small helicopter to scout enemy positions while flying extremely low to the ground. These missions were extremely dangerous, but the OH-6 proved that helicopters could play a critical role in battlefield reconnaissance. Boeing CH-47 Chinook. While some helicopters focused on speed or combat, others focused on lifting power. The CH-47 Chinook first flew in 1961. Its distinctive twin rotor design allows it to carry extremely heavy loads. Chinooks transported artillery, vehicles, and large numbers of troops during the Vietnam War. More than 60 years later, upgraded versions of the Chinook remain in active service. Sikorsky CH-53C Stallion. The United States Marine Corps required an even larger helicopter for operations from ships. The Sikorsky CH-53C Stallion first flew in 1964. It became one of the most powerful transport helicopters of its time. CH-53 helicopters carried troops and heavy equipment from naval ships directly to the battlefield. The aircraft served in conflicts from Vietnam to modern operations in the Middle East. Sikorsky UH-60 Blackhawk. By the late 1970s, the United States Army needed a new generation of transport helicopters. The result was the Sikorsky UH-60 Blackhawk. Designed to replace the aging Huey, the Blackhawk was faster, stronger, and far better protected. It could transport an entire squad of soldiers while flying at much higher speeds than earlier helicopters. Blackhawks quickly became the backbone of U.S. Army aviation. They have served in conflicts around the world, from Panama and Iraq to Afghanistan. Even today, the Black Hawk remains one of the most widely used military helicopters in the world. Boeing AH-64 Apache. While the Black Hawk carried troops, another helicopter was designed purely for combat. The Boeing AH-64 Apache was developed during the Cold War to destroy large formations of Soviet tanks. It first flew in 1975 and entered service in the mid-1980s. The Apache combined powerful sensors, advanced targeting systems, and the famous Hellfire missile. This allowed it to hunt enemy vehicles day or night and in almost any weather conditions. Over time, the Apache became one of the most feared attack helicopters ever built. Bell OH-58 Kiowa Reconnaissance remained a critical part of helicopter warfare. The Bell OH-58 Kiowa filled this role for decades. First introduced in the late 1960s, the Kiowa served as the eyes of the battlefield. Later versions featured a distinctive sensor mounted above the rotor. This allowed pilots to observe enemy positions while keeping most of the helicopter hidden behind terrain. Kiowa helicopters worked closely with Apache gunships, locating targets and guiding attacks. AH-64 Comanche. Not every helicopter program ends in success. The AH-64 Comanche was designed as a stealth reconnaissance helicopter for the modern battlefield. It featured a sleek design intended to reduce radar detection and advanced sensors for battlefield awareness. The Comanche promised to be one of the most advanced helicopters ever built. But after billions of dollars in development, the program was canceled in 2004 before entering full production. Bell V-22 Osprey. The next step in vertical flight looked very different from traditional helicopters. The Bell V-22 Osprey introduced Tiltrotor technology. Its engines rotate upward for vertical takeoff like a helicopter. Then they rotate forward, allowing the aircraft to fly like an airplane. This gives the Osprey far greater speed and range than conventional helicopters. Today, the aircraft is used by the United States Marine Corps, Air Force, and Navy for long-range transport missions. Sikorsky CH-53K King Stallion. As military equipment became heavier, the need for powerful transport helicopters grew. The CH-53K King Stallion was designed to meet that challenge. It is one of the most powerful helicopters ever built. With advanced engines and modern composite materials, the King Stallion can lift extremely heavy loads across long distances. For the United States Marine Corps, it represents the next generation of heavy-lift helicopter capability. Future helicopters. The evolution of American military helicopters is still continuing. New programs aim to create aircraft that are faster, more efficient, and capable of flying much farther than traditional helicopters. Some designs combine helicopter rotors with airplane-style propellers. Others focus on advanced automation and improved survivability. But every future helicopter will build on decades of experience gained from the machines that came before. From the fragile Sikorsky R4 to modern combat aircraft like the Apache and the Blackhawk, the evolution of military helicopters has completely transformed how wars are fought.